Getting funky on the show today with Lettuce and Do It Like You Do. I've been talking up our next guest, who's the vocalist and keyboard player on that last track. He also fronts his solo project, the Nigel Hall Band, the one and only Mr. Nigel Hall. Welcome to Hayes' Hard Drive, brother.
Hey man, so glad to be a part of it, man. I really appreciate you giving me a ring and having me a part of this, man. Plus, I love to talk, so that's great. It's
Well,
perfect.
man, you know what? You and I both row on the same boat. I like to talk too, so
Yeah,
I
man,
guess this is going to be fun.
that's perfect, man. It's gonna be great. Let's get into it.
Hey, I was so speaking of you guys, I was checking out the social page.
Yeah.
I believe I was on Instagram. Saw a
Mhm.
video of you guys performing the Tears of Fears cover off the new
Yep.
album. Everybody Wants
Mhm.
to Rule the World,
Yep.
and brother, I'm going to tell you, I like a good cover, and this is better than good. I'm really digging this cover. This is, to me, it's almost like, yeah, you've got a song, but it's completely different than the original Tears of Fears version. This is a true Lettuce song, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that personally, but I think we all I speak on behalf of the band that we really appreciate that. Like this record, Elevate, has been I don't, I think sonically, to me, this is just my personal opinion. I just think this one is the best one of all of them. I think because sonically, ever since I took over as a keyboard player, I feel like we've all been kind of melding into a thing that works for all of us. I think we as far as covers as well, we all like to kind of do things that we can relate to. We can, for instance, this particular song. I first heard this song a long time ago, and I always wanted to cover it. But I heard it first time I ever heard it was on what's that movie with Val Kilmer, Real Genius? Is that what it is?
I believe so.
That old movie, yeah. And I heard it, and I've always loved it since then, and I've always been able to relate to the lyrics. And I particularly like to sing songs. If I'm going to do a cover, it's got to be something that I feel like I can relate to, so I can actually sing it and convey the message in the song to the audience. And I feel like that this was one of the ones that did that very, very well, particularly well. And we enjoy doing it. It's like it's something that we were called to do. I think it's like one of those things that kind of just fall in your lap.
I
Like it's a
believe you
no.
on that one. The
Yeah, it's
song
it was a no brainer.
from just your interpretation of this song, and I love how it begins. It's got a little
Mhm.
funky jazz feel to start, and
Mhm.
you build it up, and it hits this
Mhm.
crescendo, and then all of a sudden, as you come into the vocals, it just
Mhm.
goes back into like this peaceful flow. Man, it is just the first time I heard it, and I know
Yeah,
you may have heard people say this, man, I got chills. I was like, this
man.
is a wonderful song, because I mean, I already enjoy the original, and how difficult is it to take a
Mhm.
song that people are so familiar with, especially an iconic 80s tune, and really make people say, "Oh wow, I'm questioning whether this might be better than the original." I mean, that's how good it is, Nigel. It's that good.
Thank you, man.
So,
Well, I think the way to do that again, the to have a song that you cover, that reaches people and touches people in the way that you described. I think that the artists themselves have to have a connection with the song, and more so, not even the song, but the connections with the message, the core of that song, in order to revamp it in a way for people of this generation now to understand.
absolutely.
It's kind of like preachers, for instance. A preacher's job is to be able to speak to the congregation, or minister's job is to be able to speak to the congregation in a language that they can understand, so that they can receive the word. So I feel, I feel like that's something that that we do particularly well, especially with songs again that we can relate to. Um, and also it's a very fun song to play, and the chords I really like the chords of the song. So like those are songs that those are things that we do particularly well together. And yeah, I think that's how it works, man.
Well, I mentioned as I opened up the show with you here that you have your own solo project now.
Yes, sir.
It's been 2015 since the Nigel Hall band released "Ladies and Gentlemen," Nigel
Yes.
Hall,
Yep.
and you have collaborated, worked with a multitude of groups, but
hmm
this here I feel has to be different for you. How was it to finally have Nigel Hall's name on the album?
On the Lettuce record?
No, on your own
Oh, on my
personal,
own record.
yeah, on your own record that you
Oh,
did with the Nigel Hall band back in 2015.
oh. It felt great. I got it hanging up on my wall.
Hey, you know
On
what?
the
And
on
after
top of all my other records that because as a kid, as a child, I grew up in Washington D.C. and my father was a musician and my mother was a singer. My brother played bass, and I grew up with a wealth of instruments and albums and music knowledge around me. So when I was born, I was basically pre-genetically disposed to being a musician. It was just basically, it was really no question that it was going to happen.
you were
And I
created as
grew
a
up,
superhuman musician, man. You just it was there. You had no choice.
I had no choice. I had no choice in the matter. I was going to play music. My family always used to say about me, they say he's either going to be a bum or he's going to be a musician. And fortunately and unfortunately, I've been both. But,
Hey, and you know
but,
what? From the bottom to the top, sometimes when you're playing the small places, that's exactly right, man. You don't people
yeah.
don't think about that. How difficult it is to come from
Yeah,
nothing to where you are
it's
now.
absolutely. It's very difficult. And, like I was explaining to my son yesterday, we were talking because we're out here in Nantucket. And so we're kind of having vacation time too. And me and my son, I was just telling him, like it could be a lot worse. There's a lot it could be, it could, people give their lives to do what it is we do to bring joy to the world. And, uh, we just have to really take the time to be grateful for all of the opportunities that we have because, we could not be here the next day. You know what I mean? And, life is like the next day is the next day and the next second, the next hour isn't promised to us. So we have to do all that we can, uh, musically, positively, anything that we can do to, to spread the vibe of love and joy around the world.
And there's your mission, right?
That's the mission.
You talked a moment ago about the pastor, how he recreates scripture
hmm
so that people can understand it. And
Right.
and you're out there, and your mission and your, purpose here in life is to go out and through the realm of music
hmm
spread the word, spread the love to everybody that you're around with the music that you're making.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we all have that mission no matter what it might
Absolutely.
be. And in
And
this
then
case,
we also all have that responsibility, whether it's
yes.
music, whether it's broadcasting, whether it's art, whether it's cooking, whether it's comedians, whatever it is that you do, you have a responsibility in your task every day to make someone smile, to make someone feel happy, to make someone feel the glory of what it is you represent. And me as a musician, I stand for the last pure thing that's left on the world, on the planet. So I'm gonna rep it. I'm gonna rep hard until the wheels fall off.
Amen to that, brother. You know what?
you know,
I've said this
let the
multiple
church say
times.
amen, amen, and amen
Amen.
again.
Brother, let me tell you something. What you just said there is just transcending, my friend. It's music crosses race, it crosses politics, it crosses religion, it crosses everything. And you are right. It is one of, if not the only pure thing left that we have in this world. And you know,
Absolutely.
in my opinion, with the show and the way that I want to do it, and not wanting to push this into a weird thing, but you know, I've had people that want the show, but they want to make it something else. I want to
Right.
play
Exactly.
every genre of music, every variety of music to provide
Hmm.
people the construct of knowing
Right.
that, hey,
Right.
man, all
Exactly.
music comes from a pure place, no matter what it might be. You know,
Absolutely.
that's awesome, man. And you know, you taking, you know, your love and your passion, you had the opportunity to work with people like Marcus King, Dave
Right.
Matthews, Warren Haynes, Tedeschi Trucks, Robert Randolph. I mean, I could keep going because the list is so extensive. And
Yeah.
my question to you, you know, being able to share a stage or have worked with in some capacity, and I know this is difficult because it's so self-reflective, and I'm asking you to be a little egotistical in a way. What do you think it is about you as an artist and a person that puts you in such demand that these artists and bands, you know, they're asking for Nigel Hall?
Well, I can say that I I think it's easy for me because I grew up a lot of my growing up years. I grew up listening to the very people who I play with, so I already know their language. I already know how to speak to them and with them. So um, I feel like that is a that's a strength that I've been able to have over the years that I'm blessed with and I give thanks for. Um, Other than that, you know, one of my friends, a good musician friend of mine, you know, he told me that when you make music with people, you're supposed to be able to take them to places that they did not think they could get to, and if it takes them further than that, then you've overdone the job. Not necessarily overdone the job because there's really no way of overdoing joy. You know what I mean? There's just no way of overdoing that. But I feel as though and also one of my heroes, well my main hero is a keyboardist. His name is George Duke. Before he passed away, he told me. I asked him. I said, "What is the most important thing for a keyboard player to do? To like what's in our duty as a musician? What is it that we're supposed to do?" And he was like, "Man, that's a really good question." And he said, "I guess the best thing to do is to listen. Because as a keyboard player, we have to play lead, harmony, and melody sometimes almost at the same time sometimes." And I took that and I was there, and really you can apply that to life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if you just listen and pay attention to everything that's going on around you, you can make better it's almost you can make better decisions if you really just take the time to pay attention to the things that are happening.
well, I
A
mean,
lot of
it
times
makes
I
you a
say
better
a lot
band member, you
it
know.
makes you a better band member. A lot of times I say if everyone's listening, the music plays itself. you know and that's one thing I'm really happy about because again with it being so pure, if everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, then the music will play itself.
So in 2015, you
Hmm.
I guess officially full time, right? Joined Lettuce as a
Yeah.
keyboardist and vocalist. But I mean, you have been making the rounds with these guys on and off since
Oh man,
around
we've
2007.
all been homies forever.
Yeah, I mean, because you and Ryan and Adam,
Hmm.
you guys
Hmm.
first hooked up
Yep.
around '07, '06, something like that.
Yeah. Oh seven sounds. Yeah. I would. It was funny because we were on the bus talking about that the other day, and we were just talking about how much time has passed. It's just crazy. Like I can remember the first rehearsal that I had with Lettuce, and it was so long ago. I actually had hair then, and and like, cause I'm Rasheed Wallace right now. It's my hairline is like ran away from me at this point. But I remember looking at pictures that were taken from that particular rehearsal, and I was like, man, it was so long ago. I had hair. I wasn't old. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy. But we've all been together a long, long time. And again, like I always said, like the best music that's going to be made is music with that's made amongst friends, and we all are very, very close friends. Aside from being colleagues and band members, and the reason I say that is because your friend knows you outside of music. So when you start playing music, they sometimes know where you're going to be musically before you even know. And then again, if everyone's listening, the music plays itself. It's a crazy situation because I've never played with a group of people who knew me so well. you know,
Well, and,
and
and it
I know them, and
shows.
I know them equally as well. So it's just something that really, really works, and I love it. I love it. I just love getting on stage with them and just crushing every night because we all are a family. We elevate each other.
with a with a
That's why we call the record Elevators, because we all elevate each other, and our goal is to elevate the world.
but with a band like Lettuce and the music that you all produce, being a little bit what I would consider, I mean, outside of today's music box.
Hmm.
People aren't you don't hear everybody trying to do what you guys do because A, it's so difficult, and B, I also think what you just said. They to be able to play the type of music that you guys do with the time that you have and the rhythm that you have and coming in and out of breaks, you got to know each other. You got to know what each other's doing. And there's just sometimes within these groups, there's just no camaraderie. People are, I mean, it's in and out, in and out. Oh, I don't like the way
Right.
that the drummer breathes. I don't like how
Right.
hard he slaps the snare. Let's get rid of him. That bands don't
Right.
stay together and create camaraderie, friendship, and
Right.
truly care about one another in some cases outside. You see, I mean, I had a chance to go see Garth Brooks about 3 years ago.
Hmm.
And man, he's up here introducing his band, and these cats have been with him for 25, 30 years. That is just
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
not seen in today's music. And you guys
Exactly.
have I mean, for the most part, most of these guys have been around each other since 92.
Hmm.
I mean, some pieces, you're in and out since, '06, '07, and I
Hmm.
believe, one of the other guys, 11. I mean, you guys been around for a while, and
Yeah.
and it shows the albums that you produce,
Hmm.
as well as, and I mean, to me, I think the true test is your live stuff. And it's,
Yeah.
oh, like you said, you guys crush it every night. Every video I see, I'm like, holy jeez, how do they do this
Yeah.
night after night?
Yeah. Yeah. It's again, man. It's with your family. You're with people that you love and respect, and that love and respect you, and that's the whole point. Is that is supposed to show. That's the one thing that's supposed to show through the music, is that you all are in tune with each other. There's an unspoken language on stage. There's an unspoken language that that's sacred to us, you know, and we want to show the world how to do that. The world, everyone is capable of doing that. It's not just us, and we want to elevate the minds and spirits to let them know that they can do this. Y'all can do this too. We all can. Let's do it together. We got a shirt. We have one of our shirts that says, how they have those shirts that have like the names, the black shirt, and they all have the different names of certain things, maybe your top five or something.
Yeah, yeah.
We all have a shirt that says, that all has our names, Schmeens, Deitch, Zoidus, Bloom, Jesus, Nigel, and you. Y'all are a part of this band as much as we are. So we want to try to spread that idea of love and joy to everybody.
Nigel, we are all better off today for having had the opportunity to talk with you and to hear you. And I personally am looking forward to seeing you and all the rest of the guys in Lettuce
Yes,
here in Raleigh at the Ritz,
yes.
November the 16th.
We cannot wait to come to the Ritz in Raleigh. We turned the Ritz out last time we played there, so
Well, let me tell you what, guys. If you want tickets, you can go to lettucefunk.com. You can also check out the album that Nigel's been talking about, Elevate. Or you can just simply go to ritzraleigh.com to get tickets. And you know what? We have really been talking up the album. So you know what? How about this? Off of their new album, Elevate, it is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. We've been talking to Lettuce frontman Nigel Hall. I'm Delane Hayes, and this is Hayes' Hard Drive.